AMC stock is up a solid 2.5% right here, right now, at the time of recording this video. Whereas Apple is down almost 3%. Keep in mind this correlation between collateral and short positions in AMC stock. When the collateral does start to drop, you tend to see AMC perform well. That tends to put a lot of pressure on shorts. They have to start hedging those short positions or even potentially covering on some small short positions. And a lot of this collateral is backed by stocks such as Apple. Now, we're going to get into everything you guys need to know in regards to AMC stock. We're also going to talk about the broad markets. One data point that came out today that has Apple down 3%. That could put this market into a not so good environment. So we're going to get into it, guys. We're going to talk about the data that is coming out here in just a couple of minutes as well, because I think that will also be important for the market. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and let's get into it. So, AMC stock, just in the time we did that intro, has started to pop pretty aggressively here. Now is up 4.5%. It was literally just up 2.5%. In the time we did that intro, the stock has rallied about 2%. Now, there's nothing specific, it looks like, that is happening with AMC stock here today. AMC is reacting pretty positively when the markets are going higher. Now, markets overall are in the red, but some certain pockets of this market are doing okay today. Now, technology, the stocks that have really carried the way for Q1, they're not doing so hot today. And that's a lot of the stocks that are the collateral behind these short positions. Because let me give you guys a brief rundown for everyone that forgot or just is unaware. To be short on a name, especially like AMC that has a lot of volatility, that has a high demand to short the stock, that could go exponentially higher, you got to pay a high cost to borrow rate. And we'll talk about that rate here in this video. But short positions have an unlimited downside if you're short on a short position. With any stock, stocks can go as high as numbers can go, which is essentially infinity. So to mitigate some of those losses for a bank, for someone that is lending stock to these shorts, well, they need collateral, right? Either cash, that's perfect collateral, no better collateral than cash. Then you got treasury bonds would be number 2. And then you got your high grade assets like stocks, right? Which would be like an Apple, which would be, think of the largest companies in the world. That would be your high quality collateral such as stocks. And most of the time that is what is put up for these short positions. So when the collateral is getting crushed, it puts a lot of pressure on those shorts, and banks ask for more collateral. And as you can see, Apple is down about 2.65% at the time of recording this video, really hanging out at the lows all day so far. And let's talk about the news that came out on Apple today. So Apple's Mac shipments fall more than 40%. Worse than major rivals. The key points: the Apple Mac shipments fell 40.5% in the first quarter of 2023 compared with the same time the prior year, market intelligence provider IDC said. Apple's worldwide PC market share dropped between the first quarter of 2022 and the first quarter of 2023 from 8.5% to 7.2%, according to IDC data. So dropping 40.5% is not something the markets had expected. Yeah, we expected a 10, 15, maybe a 20% drop on the high end, but not a 40% drop. That's at least 100% worse than expectations that the markets had. So that is not a good thing for Apple. And Apple is really the company that has been helping to pave the way for this market to go higher. Think Apple, Facebook, Nvidia, Tesla, Google, Amazon, those companies carried the markets in Q1, whereas the rest of the markets did little to nothing for Q1. So this is a big deal. And this probably creates a continued sell-off effect in Apple, which is not going to boast well for the markets, but could be a positive thing for AMC, since Apple is a stock all hedge funds need to own, basically, right? Because how hedge funds work is you're supposed to be able to give us constant return. So for an example here, if the market's average, call it 7% on the S&P 500, well, if the markets are up 20% in a year, which would be dramatic, which you've only seen a handful of times, if the markets are up 20% in a year and you're a hedge fund and you don't at least, gain 20% in a year, clients start to look at you like, what the hell are you doing? Well, when Apple controls 7% of the S&P 500 itself, 11% of the NASDAQ, you have to own Apple, right? Because you need to at least follow the markets and kind of how the markets are performing overall and try to outperform that, or you're going to lose clients. So Apple is really that company that I think is collateralized a lot when it comes to these AMC short positions. Even when the Amazon news came out, right? The Amazon buyout news, AMC stock went higher, and what happened? Apple stock started to fall by quite a bit. So there you have that. Now let's get into the data here on the day with AMC. You are looking at, let's go ahead and give this a second to refresh. Live short interest. Okay, so live short interest of free float, we're sitting at 25.15%, up 0.15% on the day. 130 million shares currently sold short, up 188,000 on the day. Cost to borrow average 852.6%. Cost to borrow max 1,050%, and cost to borrow minimum at about 368%. Interactive brokers, the reading that we're seeing today, you got about 150,000 shares available with a cost to borrow rate of about 390%. So some very high numbers across the board you're seeing. And again, the cost to borrow rates being this high helps squeeze shorts out of those short positions. Now, if we take a look at the option activity on the day, 30 orders totaling about $6 million, positive order value of 4%, guys. And AMC is really starting to lift off here. So we're going to have to see what is going on if there's any news. APE is still green on the day, up by 1.34% as of right now. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the data that did come out so far on the day, you got wholesale inventories. Now, wholesale inventories month over month for February, you were expecting a positive 0.2%. It came in at 0.1%, so worse than expectations. Last month was negative 0.6%, so that was not good. Initially caused a red candle in the markets. Subsequently, markets did start to buy it up. But coming here in about 25 minutes, you're going to get the consumer inflation expectations. Likely by the time a lot of you guys are watching this video, you are expecting 4%. Now, this is a one-year inflation expectation survey, basically. And it's been going consistently straight down. So if it does not keep going down, it's not going to be a good thing. Take a look at the 5-year chart. It went up by a lot, right? And it started to fall a lot. If you get an uptick here, you're going to see a fat sell-off in the markets, and that is going to be why. Again, coming out at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, guys. So there is that. If we do go ahead and take a look at what is happening with AMC stock as of right now, you are up 6.22% right now, approaching that 50-day moving average. This orange line and this purple line right here going to be major resistance levels. If you start to break out above that, then what I said in the last video is going to look more likely that this is not going to be a one and done court date kind of thing. This is going to be maybe a situation where a lot of shorts don't want to recognize that the judge might outright say AMC cannot do this split, or there needs to be another vote, or maybe the settlement needs to be a little bit fatter than what they did propose, because after all, I think if it was fair, if the judge thought it was fair, she would have lifted the status quo and let this go through. So you're going to see some major resistance here in the next couple of minutes. Overall, MACD looking pretty good. Volume on the day so far at about 14.5 million shares. That downside level still about $4.50 per share, currently trading at $5.21 per share. Doesn't look like we're going to approach that anytime soon. Definitely not going to happen today. But there's something going on under the surface, and it's surprising that APE is even going higher as well, leading me to believe at least investors are starting to see the probability of this, being done April 27th, not looking too good. Because like we did point out to you guys, if you take a look at the option data for April 28th, yesterday, it was 9.77% calls. Now it's at 11% calls. So you're seeing that go up by about 2% on the open interest here today. Open interest for the put side still at about 98 or 89%. So you are seeing a little bit more of that hedging for any upside risk here. And that is what could be pushing AMC stock up higher, something we also highlighted in the last video, guys. So that is going to do it for this video. We will be back later on today to talk about the inflation expectations and everything else you need to know on AMC stock. Any breaking news that comes out as well, we will also bring you that information. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.